Today, I'm extremely excited to share with you something that I believe to be truly awesome. This morning, I made a redstone discovery that, well, was completely by accident, to be quite frankly honest with you. I didn't intend on doing it, but it's made something possible that I didn't think was possible. Now, before we take a look at this redstone contraption, I think we should quickly pop back in time. So for those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for donkey's years, and I mean a seriously long time, this video released on July the 30th, 2013, so almost 4 years ago now, you might remember this video releasing. It was called the simplest piston elevator in Minecraft, and it consisted of a bunch of sticky pistons facing outwards, some regular pistons facing vertically, and then some 3 long lines of redstone going right the way up to the top. That was it. All you had to do was place in a redstone block with a block on top, and then you would shoot right the way up to the top, standing on top of those blocks. It worked absolutely perfectly for about 2 months. And then it stopped working, thanks to a Minecraft update. But that didn't stop the video from being popular. As you can see, it's got 1.4 million views, most of which came after it stopped working, which is a bit of a shame. But recently, something seems to have changed in Minecraft, and the design seems to have become functional again, just slightly different. This is the new design, and as you can see on the face of it, it looks pretty much identical. We have the same sticky pistons facing outwards, the same regular pistons facing upwards, and the same 3-block long lines of redstone that are going to be powering the entire thing. But the good thing is that it's actually become easier to use. You don't have to faff about with bits going on at the bottom. All you have to do is place in a single redstone block. And 3, 2, 1, place. I mean, how good is that? Seriously, how good is that? And then we just break the redstone block, and it's good to go. We can drop down to the bottom. We'll have some water down at the bottom there that will catch your fall. And if you want to go up again, place in the redstone block, and off you pop. No worries about redstone circuitry. We've got no repeaters or anything here apart from in this top section, which allows this piston to be retracted. We have no redstone circuits, no redstone torch towers out the back. I've got no funny business going on with command blocks here. This is literally how it works. Redstone block. I mean, how good is that? This is by far my favorite redstone contraption. Just without a doubt. I just think it's just fantastic in every way. And for those of you who were stressing out in the previous clip about how ugly the design was, the good thing is that if you place some blocks out the front, this thing looks super elegant and super modern. I mean, I would be happy to have this going from the floor up to a sky base. I think it would look awesome, and of course, it does still work. And the good news is that there's no risk of you flying out the front, which I'd say is a bit of a Brucey bonus. So now I'm going to stop waffling on, and I'm going to tell you how to build this design block by block. But before you click off the video, I am going to be continuing waffling on later in the video about how I actually rediscovered this thing, because it's quite an interesting story. To build this thing, you want to get things started with a 3x3 area. Yes, this thing is absolutely pocket-sized, and the first thing you want to do is place in all of your pistons. You want sticky pistons, just going up the back like this, and they're going to travel right the way up to the platform that you're going to be having. Now, obviously, you can place that platform wherever you want, but you want to stop placing in the sticky pistons 1 block underneath your platform. So here is the platform. This is where we're going to be stopping. This is where your sticky pistons are going to be going to. The next thing that you want to do is really simple, and that is place in regular pistons facing upwards all the way up to the top, and then place in an immovable object just above that final regular piston to stop it being pushed upwards as the redstone block goes past, because that would be pretty bad news. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is where things begin to get complicated. Okay, so just prepare yourselves here, because we've got some serious redstone coming up. Okay, are you ready? So you want to place a line of blocks, and then a line of redstone. And then on the other side, this is where things get tricky, you want to place a line of blocks, and then some redstone, but you want to make sure that they're not on the same level. This block here has to be 1 block above this block. And then, quite simply, line of blocks, redstone, line of blocks, redstone. I'm going to repeat it again, just to make sure that it goes in, because, you know, this is tough stuff. Redstone, line of blocks, redstone. Do you guys get the idea? I mean, there is no funny business going on here. This is the full redstone circuit. Just lines of blocks with redstone. 3 blocks, 3 redstone, 3 blocks, 3 redstone, right the way up to the top. Once you get up to the top, and this redstone line is kind of above this piston right here, which is your final piston, you are going to have to do something slightly different. You're going to run blocks across like this, blocks across like that, and a block up like that, with redstone dust, a repeater set to 2 ticks, and then redstone dust right there. Now, if you give this thing a tester, we should see that our redstone block will travel upwards, and then when we break the redstone block, the pistons will be retracted. But if something like that happens, then you are going to have to do something a little bit extra out the back. You just have to place in a block with redstone dust there, and then a regular piston facing downwards, and that will update those pistons to stop that from happening. So if you give it another go, redstone gets stuck, but then everything retracts, and we've got ourselves a working system. Unfortunately, there's nothing really I can do about that, and only some areas do it. I don't really understand myself. Final stages now. If you want to make this thing look a tiny bit better than it currently does, I would suggest running blocks all the way up like this, right the way up to the top, and do the same thing on the other side once again. And then I personally like the look of having glass going up through the center. Now, the only thing that I will mention about this is that I would suggest leaving a 3-block gap right there, because the way that you activate this thing is by placing in a redstone block while you're standing kind of halfway into the piston elevator, a little bit like this. So if we stand over here, you essentially stand halfway between and then place in the redstone block and then move across. And you need to make sure that you have enough time to move across. So it's advised that you have a 3-block high gap. But anyway, that is pretty much the whole design done. I mean, you can add in some water down at the bottom so that you can jump down into it. You can add a hopper that will catch your redstone block as you break it up at the top. But all of those are tiny little details that you guys can probably do yourselves. So now that I've shown you how to build it, I think we should probably pop into the redstone testing world and show how I actually discovered this thing, because I was working on the elevator design. I was kind of thinking through redstone plans in my head, and I thought, hey, I wonder if the original design would work with the observer, because of course that might negate some of the problems that we now had with Minecraft updates and things. So I was messing around. I was like, okay, if we place in like a block like this, then we place in an observer, it gets fired out like that. So I was trying to work out if I kind of push it in or do anything, and then I thought, okay, what if I just try seeing what happens if I place in a redstone block? I don't know why I did this, but that happened. And I kind of fell off my chair pretty much. I traveled halfway across the room and put my hands on my head, and then instantly, I didn't even build the design, I didn't do any more testing than that. I put it straight into the clear redstone world that you guys have seen in that video and started recording, because I was like, this is it. I've actually managed to make it work again. I couldn't believe that it actually functioned. It completely blew my mind that that was working, considering I was originally trying to make it work with observers, and then that was just like, oh, just see what happens. I can't believe it actually functions, and I'm over the moon that it does. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this little redstone video. It's been a little bit different to the other ones that I normally do, but I was so excited about this one that I just had to slap it together and get it up and running. But anyway, if you did enjoy it, please be sure to hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later. Oh, and of course, check out the latest film on the filming channel. It's quite a good one. I personally really like it. I'll put a link to it on the end screen. Just click on that one.